I never thought I would sit down one day and tell the world about the way my marriage shattered. My name is Daniel, and for most of my life I believed I had won the lottery of love. I had a wife, Claire, who I adored, and a best friend, Michael, who I trusted more than my own brother. The two people closest to me. The two people I would have given my life for. But betrayal has a way of cutting deeper than any blade. And mine came from both of them. I want you to imagine this. Coming home after a long day, expecting a warm smile from your wife, only to find her cold, distant, distracted. At first, I told myself it was stress, maybe exhaustion. I pushed the doubts aside. But when the laughter on her phone grew louder, when the late nights grew longer, when the lies became too polished, I felt the ground beneath me shift. The moment of truth came one night when her phone buzzed while she was in the shower. I don't usually check her phone. I always trusted her, but something in me snapped. And there it was. A message that read, "Last night was amazing. Can't wait to hold you again. M." I dropped the phone as if it had burned me. M. There was only one M in our lives. Michael. My best friend. My brother in everything but blood. My hands shook, my heart raced, but instead of storming into the bathroom and confronting Claire, I did nothing. I sat down on the bed and just stared at the floor, the words repeating in my head like a drumbeat. Michael. 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 That night, while she slept peacefully beside me, I stared at the ceiling, my chest heavy with betrayal. The woman I had vowed to spend my life with, the man I trusted more than anyone, they had carved a knife into my back. I wanted to scream. I wanted to shake her awake and demand the truth. But I didn't. Because I realized something. They thought they were clever. They thought I was blind. They thought they could make a fool out of me. But I would show them. I decided then, I wouldn't confront them with rage. I wouldn't let them see me broken. Instead, I would smile, I would pretend, I would wait. And when the moment was right, I would strike so hard that they would never recover. From that night on, I became two people. To Claire, I was the loving husband, unchanged. To Michael, I was the same old friend. But behind the mask, I was collecting everything. Messages, photos, proof of their meetings. I hired a private investigator who followed Claire when she said she had to work late. The pictures came back like bullets to the chest. Her and Michael walking hand in hand, slipping into hotels, laughing together. Every image, every text, every whispered call. I saved it all. Not because I wanted to cry over it, but because I was building my weapon. The days passed like a cruel play. Claire would kiss me goodbye in the morning, only to drive straight to Michael's place. She'd return at night, her lips stained with lies, telling me how tired she was from work. Michael, on the other hand, slapped me on the back at the office, laughing with me as though he wasn't secretly sleeping with my wife. I'll admit, there were moments when I almost lost control. When Michael sat across from me, joking about life, all I wanted was to grab him by the throat and end him right there. But I forced myself to smile. Because patience, I told myself, is the sharpest blade. I chose our wedding anniversary for my strike. The irony was delicious. Claire had been planning some business trip, no doubt a cover for a getaway with Michael. But I told her I had arranged a private dinner at home, just the two of us. She looked disappointed at first, but then forced a smile and agreed. On the night, she dressed beautifully, wearing the necklace I had given her years ago. If I didn't know better, I might have believed she was still my wife, still in love with me. But now, every touch, every smile, felt like poison. We sat across from each other at the table, candles flickering between us. I poured her wine, and I told her softly, "Tonight will be unforgettable." She smiled, not knowing the storm about to hit. Halfway through dinner, the doorbell rang. Claire frowned. "Were you expecting someone?" "Yes," I said calmly. When I opened the door, there stood Michael. His smile faltered instantly when he saw me, then flickered nervously toward Claire behind me. "What's this about?" he stammered. "Come in," I said. "It wouldn't be a celebration without you." I'll never forget the look on Claire's face when Michael stepped inside. Her fork slipped from her hand, her eyes wide with panic. She whispered, "Daniel, please." "Sit down," I interrupted. My voice was calm, but sharp enough to cut through the room. The three of us sat together, the air heavy with tension. I raised my glass and said, "To loyalty, to love, to friendship." They said nothing. And then I stood, walked to the corner, and turned on the projector I had set up earlier. The screen lit up with their faces. Photos of hotel rooms, text messages, videos of them laughing together. The sound of their voices recorded during secret phone calls. Claire gasped, her hands covering her mouth. Michael muttered curses under his breath. I stood there, arms folded, watching them drown in their own betrayal. "You thought I was blind," I said. "You thought you were clever. But I've known for weeks. And tonight, I'm done pretending." I pulled out my phone and pressed send. The evidence flew out to friends, family, colleagues, everyone who mattered in our lives. Within minutes, their secrets were no longer secrets. Claire screamed, begging me to stop. Michael cursed and tried to grab the phone from my hand, but I shoved him back into his chair. For the first time, they saw the fury they had created in me. But this was only the beginning. Because I wasn't just going to expose them. I was going to destroy them, piece by piece. You know what happens after betrayal is revealed? Most people scream, cry, throw things, maybe pack a bag and leave. But that wasn't enough for me. Not after the knife they had buried in my back. Exposing Claire and Michael was just the opening act. My true revenge was only beginning. That night, after the evidence had been sent out, Claire broke down, sobbing uncontrollably, clinging to my arm like a drowning woman. "Daniel, please, we can fix this. It was a mistake." A mistake. That's what she called it. As if months of lies, stolen nights, and whispered promises to another man could be reduced to a single careless moment. I pulled my arm free. "You and Michael deserve each other. But you don't deserve peace." Michael had gone silent, his jaw tight, his eyes burning with rage. He knew what that folder of evidence meant. His job, his career, his reputation. He had always cared more about his image than anything else, and I had just shredded it into pieces. He finally muttered, "You'll regret this, Daniel." I laughed in his face. "No, Michael, you will." I walked upstairs, leaving them in the wreckage of their own sins. That night, I didn't sleep beside Claire. I locked the bedroom door, while she wept on the other side. Her sobs were a strange kind of music, half pathetic, half satisfying. The fallout started the very next morning. My phone buzzed with calls and messages. Family members, friends, even co-workers who had seen the proof. Claire's parents called me in tears, ashamed of their daughter. Michael's boss left a voicemail saying, "This kind of behavior is unacceptable in our firm." He's suspended pending investigation. By the end of the week, Michael was fired. Years of hard work, gone in a flash. His carefully crafted image of a respectable professional lay in ashes. Claire tried to keep up appearances, but her mask cracked quickly. Friends stopped answering her calls. Invitations disappeared. The women she used to gossip with now whispered behind her back. She became an outcast in her own circle. But I wasn't finished. I filed for divorce, presenting every shred of evidence to my lawyer. Claire tried to fight it, crying that she deserved half of everything. But when the judge saw the mountain of proof, the sympathy drained from his eyes. The house, the savings, even custody of our son, I was granted it all. Claire walked out of that courtroom with nothing but shame and a suitcase. Michael, meanwhile, had become a ghost. He moved out of his apartment after being unable to pay rent, crashing at a friend's place before even they kicked him out. Word had spread so far so fast that nobody wanted to be associated with him. One evening, a few weeks later, I found him waiting outside my house. His eyes were bloodshot, his face pale, his clothes wrinkled. He looked like a man broken. "You destroyed me," he said hoarsely. I looked him dead in the eyes and replied, "You destroyed yourself. I just turned on the lights so everyone could see it." He clenched his fists, his body trembling as if he wanted to hit me. But then he saw my son standing at the window, watching. Michael's shoulders slumped. Without another word, he walked away, disappearing into the night. That was the last time I ever saw him. Claire tried, for months, to win me back. She wrote letters, left voicemails, begged me to meet her. Every word was filled with regret, but regret doesn't erase betrayal. I ignored them all. She finally left town, unable to live under the weight of what she had done. And me? Did I feel free? Victorious? Yes. But also changed. Revenge is not just about punishing the guilty. It's about reclaiming yourself from the people who tried to destroy you. Claire and Michael thought they had broken me, but in reality, they had forged me into something stronger, harder, unbreakable. I rebuilt my life piece by piece, not with them, but without them. I poured myself into raising my son, into my work, into finding joy in places they had poisoned. And with every step forward, I carried the memory of their downfall. Because here's the truth, betrayal may burn you, but revenge is the fire that purifies. Claire lost her husband. Michael lost his best friend, his career, his dignity. And me. I gained something priceless, the power of never being fooled again. So if you ever find yourself betrayed, if the two people you trust most stab you in the back, remember my story. Don't rush. Don't scream. Don't lose control. Wait. Plan. Strike. And when you do, make sure they never forget it.